Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of June. This is CTV News. Tonight, a growing crisis. Overdose calls reach epidemic proportions in one maritime city. What's behind a drop in home sales and home listings in Halifax last month? And taking it all in stride, Cape Breton friends lace up for Global Running Day.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. It was a day like no other for emergency crews in Moncton. By mid-afternoon, the fire department had answered 23 overdose calls. The daily average is 5. It's apparent that street drugs laced with toxic ingredients are creating a dangerous situation in the hub city and beyond. CTV's Derek Haggett has more.
Ambulance New Brunswick's 911 dispatch team received 40 overdose-related calls from Monday morning until noon today. It was 65 calls over the weekend. The Moncton Fire Department responded to 23 overdose calls in an 8-hour period today. Lately, 5 has been the average for a full day.
That is an extraordinary amount.
Over the past few days, crews have been attending to one person while others have dropped to the ground right in front of them.
And while they're there, they actually get on the radio and call out to fire control, which is our dispatch center, and say, we're going to either need some more help or else just want to make you aware that we've just had two more people that have dropped while we're dealing with this one patient that's having an overdose.
It's been extraordinarily busy for the YMCA outreach program, too.
Since Friday morning, my team alone, so that's just my outreach team, that operates 24/7, have responded to 40 plus overdoses.
It's having a deep impact on the homeless community and their loved ones.
Not to mention our staff on the ground who are responding to these and saving lives, what feels like every couple of minutes right now, who we're feeling it too.
The RCMP did respond to some overdose-related calls over the weekend. It is important to note that overdose calls are, by nature, medical emergencies and do not necessarily involve criminal activity. As such, police may not attend every incident if there is no indication of a crime. One man says he overdosed 3 times over the weekend.
Yeah, as soon as you took it, you instantly knew right away. We want this stuff off the streets. We don't want any more of it here.
Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
2 people have been arrested following a deadly stabbing in the Whitney Pier area of Sydney. Police say they found a male with stab wounds on Frederick Street around 11:30 a.m. Victim taken to hospital but later died. Several RCMP detachments became involved in the search for a vehicle that was spotted leaving the scene, and it was located eventually near Orangedale, and police arrested 2 men. Identity of the victim has not yet been released. The investigation is ongoing. The debate over what Halifax's new police headquarters will look like in the future is raging on. Everyone agrees the facility is needed, but questions linger about the location or locations or the number of buildings. $1.7 million has been approved, but $750,000 for repairs to the current building. The total project cost estimated at $180 million.
The simple reality is, for the sake of public safety and the people that work there and the people that we serve, a new headquarters is not a nicety, it's a necessity.
We need to look at ways to knock that $180 million down. I think that's really what our job is. How do we do that? How do we still provide the capital project that's needed, but really look at costs heavily.
Mancini suggests funding from other levels of government and potentially sharing training spaces with other first responders as a couple of possible cost-saving options.
Get the Maritimes top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Newfoundland and Labrador Premier Tony Wakeham is appealing for help from the federal government as a strike looms for workers on Marine Atlantic ferries. Unifor represents about 700 Marine Atlantic workers, says negotiations broke down last week. A strike or a lockout could begin in as early as a month, and Premier Wakeham says it's a major concern given that much of the island's food and other goods arrive by ferry. Well, when hundreds of angry farmers leave their fields in springtime and show up at the front door, you know you've got a problem. Producers converging on the New Brunswick legislature today to protest the government's plan to privatize veterinary services. CTV's Nick Moore was there as well.
A parade of farm equipment led to the lawn of the legislature, where over 300 people gathered to protest the Liberal government's decision to privatize provincial veterinary services for large animals.
I'm a vegan, and I'm standing with farmers. I'm a Liberal, and I'm standing with Conservatives. But I believe that everyone here cares about animal health, and they care about animal well-being, and that's really what matters.
The changes outlined in the provincial budget in March are meant to save $4 million annually against a $1.4 billion deficit. The plan also includes a feasibility study on the future of the provincially run laboratory, where animals are monitored and studied for diseases.
It really is all about the food we eat and the diseases that come into the province on little animals like raccoons.
Inside the legislature, the topic dominated question period.
The Holt government, in its arrogance and political calculations, feel they can get away with this because farmers only represent a small portion of the vote in this province.
We will look after the food security of this province, and we will make sure that the veterinary services that have struggled under the previous government will be strong and supported.
I think this is another example of the urban-rural divide, people not understanding that our essential services in the province exist rurally.
The provincial government says it will make these changes by next spring. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Nominations for the by-election in Nova Scotia's new riding of Cheticamp Margarees Pleasant Bay are now closed. The Electoral Boundary Commission recommended the creation of the new riding to recognize the Acadian communities in that part of Cape Breton. Early voting was completed with write-in ballots. With nominations now closed, the voting is shifting to e-ballots. Election day for the new riding is Tuesday, the 23rd of this month. There are close to 4,000 registered voters there. The Nova Scotia government says a new centralized list for parents needing childcare is coming soon. Some say this is long overdue, noting that many parents wind up signing up for multiple facilities in hopes of getting one call back. Officials say they've earmarked $8 million for the digital hub, which they do expect to be up and running by 2028.
So there's a number of modules that will be included there: registration of service providers, registration of families, a single identifier for children, a portal for submission of required documents, and we'll have the capacity to do a wait list.
Of the 600 we have no idea how many of those families have already received care, are on multiple wait lists. And so for us, from a very logic perspective, this should have been step one.
The province says more federal funding will be required to help meet affordability targets. Well, the most recent real estate numbers show Nova Scotia's housing market is cooling slightly. Fewer homes are selling and fewer are being listed. But as CTV's Hafsa Arif tells us tonight, prices continue to climb.
Across Halifax and Dartmouth, the spring market is moving, just not as quickly as last year. Home sales dipped 5% last month, while new listings also fell.
Halifax definitely has seen the major increase over the years, but it really has just brought it up to what I think is a fairly fair standard across Canada. It was undervalued before.
Despite the slowdown, prices are still edging higher. The average home in Nova Scotia now sells for just under $500,000.
Still a relatively healthy market in Nova Scotia. The prices are up by about 1%, even though the home sales and the new listings are down 5%.
While Halifax remains steady, Outside the city, realtors say uncertainty is keeping some buyers on the fence.
Market was a little softer this spring than we were anticipating, but as time goes on, we're very optimistic for a strong summer market on its way.
Economic concerns and tensions south of the border are adding to the hesitation.
Those issues are top of mind for a lot of people, and that's creating a lot of people's uncertainty whether they should move forward with purchasing or selling their property.
With summer traditionally bringing more closings, industry experts say this slower spring may only be a pause and not a trend.
But buyers looking now are looking to make the change for the summertime. So that's when the actual closings happen.
Hafsa Arif, CTV News.
And artistic interpretation of an important message in Halifax tonight.
Oh, what is all this? I don't know.
Is it alive? Sizable turnout at the Central Library this evening for this performance. This is World Oceans Week, and the Sable Island Institute teamed up with the people at Moeshan Dance to draw attention to an important issue that's on full display, especially on the legendary island.
So this week is World Ocean Week, and Motion Dance is presenting Sea Unseen, which is a dance performance that's about ocean plastic pollution. So we were approached by Zoe Lucas at the Sable Island Institute to explore this issue through dance, because she and her team have been collecting ocean debris that's been washing up on Sable Island. So we feel it's really important to keep this issue present with the community.
And more so, the troupe has been touring schools to share the message with younger generations. Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll examine the growing trend toward naturopathic medicine around here. Coming up next, come sail away.
It's always great for any effort that's if the town is even thought of.
It's a new trend in cruising, and it's making all the difference in some maritime ports. Details are next. Stay with us.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter.
Move family, make plans to spend every morning with us from 5:30 to 10.
We promise to start your day with a smile and feeling great about what's ahead.
We've become used to seeing cruise ships tied up in maritime cities, of course, but there's a small port welcoming several vessels this season where the number of passengers will actually outnumber the number of locals. That offers a big opportunity for the community. CTV's Ryan McDonald takes us there.
When 21st century luxury is docked in the shadow of the 18th century fortress, it usually means good things for the people here in Lewisburg.
So you tend to get a few people stopping in, and it does make the town a little bit busier.
That's needed these days. In recent years, the streets have often been empty in what was once one of Nova Scotia's busiest tourist towns. Later this summer, 9 cruise ships are scheduled to visit Lewisburg. At this cafe along the main street, there is cautious optimism that those could be busy days.
It's always great for any effort that's if the town is even thought of. But we look at other years where it was always so much busier.
I think that's a great diversification of the tourism product.
Dalhousie University professor Lorne Sheehan says going to smaller ports of call like Lewisburg, especially those with an iconic experience like the famous fortress, is something he sees as a unique draw for cruise lines and their customers, and that it's up to the community to capitalize on all those visitors.
So that there would be other things for people to spend their money on, especially when those businesses that could be part of that would be locally owned and bring benefits to local people in the area.
If the wind is up, then the cruise ships don't even get in. So what may start out as 9 may end up as 3 coming into town, or 4.
For now, it's a community that still has to wait roughly 2.5 months for its ship to come in. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Lewisburg, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Ryan. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, it's your complete maritime weather forecast, and things have taken a turn for the better. Kaylin has all the details coming up next. It is Wednesday. It is the 3rd day of June. Took a little while to get there, but it kind of felt like June today.
Yeah, sunshine across the region. Temperatures generally coming up, and we'll take another step up tomorrow. A couple areas where they'll be a little bit more moderate. Coastal locations probably comes as no surprise to anybody out there. For conditions tonight around the Maritimes, very clear with this area of high pressure in place. And that weather system that's centered right now around the eastern United States extends its influence to parts of southern Ontario, Quebec, and starting to get here in Atlantic Canada. It's going to be around over the next couple of days. So taking a look at our timeline for cloud cover and precipitation, not much to show you as we make our way through the rest of the night into the start of the day for tomorrow. Expect a lot of sunshine to be around Thursday morning. There's a chance, a little bit of patchy fog around some coastal areas, especially around the southwestern coastline of Nova Scotia, maybe parts of the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick. And that's because we're in a bit of a south and southwest wind, so it keeps that fog trapped a little bit closer towards the shore at the start of the day. In the afternoon, it'll be mostly sunny across the region, a little bit of thin high cloud cover moving into the north of New Brunswick. No precipitation expected out of that, and just a few clouds around as we head through Thursday night. And for Friday, a bit more of a mix of sun and cloud for the region. Taking a look at the winds in the forecast, they remain out of the southwest for tonight and for tomorrow, increasing from light first thing Thursday morning to having some gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour in the afternoon. That southwest wind direction is a little bit more directly onshore off ocean waters around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. So it's those zones or areas that will feel a little bit more of a cooling effect from that wind. Now, low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for the province of New Brunswick. For most, will fall into a range of around 7 to 12 degrees. Prince Edward Island tonight, many communities falling into a range around 9 to 11. And for Nova Scotia tonight, most of the low temperatures between 7 and 11. Here's a look at the highs in the forecast for Thursday. And for communities in the north of New Brunswick, lots of high 20s, low 30s. 29 at Edmundston. We're looking at 31 for Bathurst and Miramichi. On the coastline, closer to 26 degrees. Fredericton tomorrow, hot early June day, temperatures near 30, and then a little bit more moderate down around the Bay of Fundy coastline, where most coastal communities will have high temperatures between around 18 and 22. Temperatures hot again then for Moncton, near 29. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, lots of 25s. Looking at 25 for Summerside, Cavendish, Charlottetown, near 26 for Montague, and then 22 for Surrey. Cape Breton for tomorrow with high temperatures in the low to mid 20s, except 18 to 20 degrees around the Atlantic coastline. It'll also be a little bit cooler for parts of the eastern shore of Nova Scotia, coastal areas. But as soon as you go inland, those high temperatures will come up into the 20s. 24 for Amherst for tomorrow, 27 for Truro. The city centers, Halifax and Dartmouth, with high temperatures near 23 degrees, 18 at Lunenburg. But continuing down the south shore, it'll be close to 26 for Bridgewater, 23 for Liverpool and Shelburne, 17 for Yarmouth, and hotter in the Annapolis Valley with high temperatures closer to 28. Taking a look at the extended forecast, beginning with New Brunswick, a mix of sun and cloud on Friday. Now, temperatures come down a few degrees because of the increased cloud cover and a northeast wind. And then it cools a little bit more for the weekend as we have some wet weather in the forecast. Showers developing on Saturday, may turn over to a little bit of rain Saturday night that then clears out Sunday morning. And behind that, it's back to some sunshine and some warming temperatures for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. For Nova Scotia in the forecast on Friday, a mix of sun and cloud, a lot of high temperatures away from the coast, still around the mid-20s. High temperatures around the mid to high teens on Saturday with increasing cloudiness and a low chance of showers. Then some rain and some showers will develop Saturday night. That's around for Sunday. Temperatures cooler because of that wet weather. Back to some sunshine and rising temperatures for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And for Prince Edward Island, the forecast, a mix of sun and cloud on Friday. Now, temperatures cool back towards the mid-teens because of a northeast wind. Stays around the mid-teens for Saturday with a chance of showers moving in the afternoon. Showers then expected on Sunday. That's followed by a mix of sun and cloud for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Bruce.
Right you are. Thank you, sir. Wake up weather still to come. Stay with us. We'll be back with more.
#1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
So a growing number of Canadians are looking beyond their traditional doctor's offices for treatments. From acupuncture to herbal remedies, naturopaths are providing alternate options to conventional medicine. And this month, they became regulated in Nova Scotia. CTV's Stephanie Seacos looks at what that means for practitioners and their patients.
It's a historic moment for us. We've been working towards this for years, actively with the government for the past 3 and a bit years.
Nova Scotia is now one of 7 Canadian jurisdictions to formally regulate the profession.
This means the protection that the public is protected with knowing that they're seeing a qualified ND for someone that's using those terms. We have a defined scope of practice of what we're able to offer, and it's a quite progressive scope.
With the new designation, naturopathic doctors will be able to do more once the changes are implemented, including ordering diagnostic imaging and laboratory tests for patients.
We'll be able to offer true primary care. But what does that mean? That means antibiotics. That means drugs and medications, being able to prescribe so that you can go to your pharmacist and actually get the medication you need for preventative care.
The profession is one that has been growing for years, with more people turning to naturopathic care, in part due to a lack of access to other forms of primary care.
So many more people are now focused on the quality of life. They want to make sure that when they do get to 75, 80, they want to be living their life. They want to be able to get up and down off the floor with their grandkids. They still want to be able to get on a plane.
Stephanie Seacos, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Stephanie. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, Cape Breton runners lace up for Global Running Day. First, though, your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at Fredericton on this Wednesday evening. A comfortable 14 degrees right now. Kaylin Mitchell will tell you how to dress for the morning when CTV News continues. Thursday morning now upon us. Let's kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather from Kaylin.
Yeah, and certainly sunglasses. That'd be a good idea for the morning commute tomorrow. It'll be sunny across the region. Thursday morning temperatures, mostly high single digits and low teens, but they rise very quickly as we make our way into and through Thursday afternoon. Lots of highs tomorrow in the Maritimes, mid to high 20s, some low 30s in New Brunswick. Temperatures just a little bit cooler around the Bay of Fundy coastline in that province, as well as the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. Bruce.
Thank you, sir. See you again tomorrow. Well, about 2.5 million people laced up their sneakers today for Global Running Day. That included plenty of Maritimers. CTV's Ryan McDonald introduces us tonight to a few of them whose love for running is certainly worth celebrating.
For Claire Chabasal and Bria Weatherby, the fact it is Global Running Day is only their latest reason to celebrate.
Most recently, I qualified for the Boston Marathon for the first time. I'm so excited.
While she finished last month's Fredericton Marathon in an impressive 3 hours, 17 minutes, Chabasal feels what her accomplishment really means is that any able-bodied person can run, and she has a special reason for doing it.
I have never been athletic, and I never thought it was in the cards for me. So to be going, I really feel like I have to pinch myself. I run in honor of my father, so I'll be taking his photo with me, pinning it to my bib.
Setting goals feels really good, but being healthy and feeling healthy, there's nothing better than being able to get up every day and move your body.
There's 2 teams coming down from Toronto, which is huge. The fact that they want to come down here and run across the island is amazing.
Word has been spreading about the tour on foot of some of PEI's most beautiful scenery, from the red sands near the North Cape Lighthouse to the finish more than 24 hours later near Surrey.
Well, runners are lucky to be running through some of the national parks here, Brackley and Cavendish, as well as along the north coast for much of it. Also, there's so many nice communities to run through as well.
And while these brand new Boston qualifiers are only 2 of the estimated 2.5 million people who typically lace them up on Global Running Day, they have some advice for anyone who might just be getting started.
Repeat to yourself, you can do hard things and you're capable of running. Every run is better than not running.
A mantra they'll live by through the miles to come. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Thank you, Ryan. And Ryan is a pretty great runner himself, of course. Okay, that is your late news for this Wednesday night. If you joined us a little late or you'd like a closer look, a second look at any of our stories, ctvnewsatlantic.ca is where you want to go. It is your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening. We hope to see you again tomorrow.